Hey everybody, today is December 27th. I hope you had a great Christmas and happy holidays, and you spent the great holidays with your friends and family. Today we're going to look at the stock market, the S&P 500, hitting new all-time highs today. Really exciting. Before we begin, please read the disclaimer, and you can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so S&P 500 at new all-time highs, and the Dow and the Nasdaq not quite at all-time highs yet. By the way, the market is still open. It's going to close in about 30 minutes, but yeah, so the Dow is still a little ways away from all-time highs. Nasdaq is also a little bit away, but everything is looking really good. We had 4 very strong sessions since we bounced off our midterm moving average, the 100-day moving average, right? We talked about this in our previous videos. I also made a Twitter post about it, how when we had this nice green first green reversal day off bouncing the 100-day, I said that we filled one gap today and we're bouncing off the 100-day simple moving average. This is bullish, and I expect the stock market to continue recovering from this recent correction. Now, it's only been, let's see, three more days, 3 more sessions after that where we just hit new all-time highs on the S&P 500, right? So it's really amazing, right? Let's zoom in on the 30-minute chart. Just really spectacular move after bottoming in December 20th, right? Saw a nearly 5% move, and we filled both of these gaps, 1 and over 2, over the last 2 weeks basically. And today is Monday, so there's still 4 more days going into the last week of the year, and things are looking very good. Let's look at the weekly chart, right? We seem like we had this consolidation for about a month, and now it seems like we're breaking out to new all-time highs, right? Which we are at right now. Same thing with the Nasdaq and the Dow, looking very good. Let's look at the monthly chart, right? The monthly chart kind of started this month off a little sticky. Look at this, sort of like a evening star or a shooting star sort of pattern. It's not looking very good. Like last time we saw something like, let me just get a clean chart over here. On the S&P 500, we saw over here was right before the coronavirus crashed the market, right? And we saw something sort of here, and so that looked kind of worrying. But of course, we don't have such a fundamental disaster as like a worldwide pandemic, right? And so what we saw was Omicron really scaring everybody, but fears subsided as people realized that even though Omicron is very much more contagious than the Delta variant, it is not as deadly. And so people are not only optimistic over the Omicron variant, but also the fact that we're going into a new year and we can start over. I think by this time, most funds have probably rebalanced, done their tax loss harvesting, right? So much of the sell-off pressure going into the end of the year was done in the last few sessions, and now we're seeing a nice bounce to new all-time highs. We talked about how we had a sort of this ascending triangle pattern, and now we seem like we're having a strong break. So we want to see this continue up higher, right? And we can definitely see that maybe back here somewhere we had a strong break above, and just see a nice continuation higher into the new year. Also, the VIX is below 20, which is good. It continues to go down, which is great since considering the fact that the Omicron variant news in late November really took the VIX above 30, which is quite volatile, right? And we saw a nice correction down to the 100-day moving average, which we said in this video was perhaps a potentially good buying opportunity, as this has held as support. These moving averages have held as strong support over the last year and a half, right? I mean, since we recovered from the pandemic that crashed the market, and we're still recovering from the pandemic, but the market is doing very, very good right now. And let's see, fear and greed index is now in greed mode, right? We were in fear for the last few sessions, but now we're starting to bounce up higher, and there still is quite a long way to go before we start to get overbought. So that could mean that excuse me, that could mean that we still have quite a few more upside for the S&P, right? Before the fear and greed index tells us that we're extremely greedy and or in extreme greed, and that's usually a good time to take some profits, right? But yeah, still a long ways to go, and yeah, this end of the year optimism is looking very good for going to the next year. Of course, there's going to be anticipation of tapering and rate hikes. I think that's going to kind of take this market, bring this market down to earth a little bit. And like I said in previous videos, we want to see this market go up, but we want to see it go up in a sustainable manner, right? Because if we go up in a parabolic manner, then we tend to see volatility spike, and then people start betting against the market, and we tend to see a big crash, right? So we want to see something like this, where we see the market go up in a sustained way, where it pulls back once in a while to our short and midterm moving averages, the 50-day and the 100-day simple moving average with the silver and gold lines, right? And once in a while, we'll have a nice correction down to the blue line, which is our 200-day moving average, But these are generally good buying times as long as there's nothing fundamentally wrong with the economy that could tank us into like a recession or something. But right now we are recovering from one of the worst pandemics, short-lived recessions of the last 10 years, right? And yeah, and the stock market is reflecting recovery and optimism that we will get through this pandemic. More vaccines are going out. Lockdowns are still in effect, but there are people are starting to manage and be used to this life, and hopefully those lockdowns will end sooner than later. And yeah, so in terms of the market outlook, like I've said, as long as we're able to continue to push up higher, clear these moving averages, and clear this resistance level that we hit 2 times, right? Stay within this ascending triangle breakout. Stay above the ascending triangle. Maybe pull back a little bit to retest the resistance level before pushing up higher. I can see that happening, but for now, we want to see this rip higher, and we've seen that happen. Like once we break through, we can see a magnificent rally higher, right? And maybe come down in the future to retest, but continue to push up higher. And that's what I expect going into the new year. I want to watch volatility continue to go down lower. Ideally below continue to stay below 20, right, and drift down to like 15, and when we have historically low volatility, that's usually a good sign that the market will continue to go on higher. So just to summarize, everything's looking very good as I predicted. We had a strong bounce off the 100 day, and we continued our move to all-time highs, and that's where we are now. We already hit the all-time high. I expect this S&P 500 to continue up higher. I expect the Dow Jones and also the Nasdaq to hit all-time highs within the next week or two, and we might have a bit of a pullback, maybe perhaps back down to resistance level, right, before pushing up higher. But that's not anything to worry about. Keep your eye on macroeconomic events or geopolitical events. Russia and Ukraine, China and Taiwan, stuff like that, right? And anticipation of tapering and rate hikes announcement for the Federal Reserve going into the first and second quarters of next year. So anyways, I just want to wish everybody a happy holidays again. I hope you guys spent time with your friends and family, had a great Christmas, and I don't know if I'll put another video out later this week, maybe if something interesting happens in the market, but in case I don't, I hope you had a great 2021, and I can't wait to see you guys next year. Happy New Year, and yeah, enjoy the holidays and the New Year's with your friends and family. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful, helpful, informative, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. I appreciate all your support. Thank you again, and have a great day.